Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So we got a Washington Commanders weekly live stream for you guys. It's been a while since I've been live, moving in and stuff, vacation, but should be good to go from now on. Basically, going to be doing a live stream a week, maybe more, maybe some weeks with a couple, maybe some weeks without a live stream. But today, going to be previewing the Commanders versus Cincinnati Bengals preseason matchup where, a lot of the starters aren't going to play. There's a few starters playing, which we'll get into, but it should be a good game. And this game is huge, 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 huge for those, back of the end, back of the roster guys, also young guys that are trying to develop, but especially those, back then, roster guys like Christian Holmes. He's probably going to make it, but, he's battling it out. Danny Johnson, same thing. He's probably going to make it. But, guys like Rashad Wildgoose, Tariq Castro feels like they're probably not going to make it. But, hey, if they show out today, maybe the Commanders will keep them. But if not, another team will go out and sign them because of that good film that they're putting on tape. So, what's up, Dope Boy? Appreciate you for coming through. Everyone in the, that's here, appreciate you guys. Go ahead and comment down below. But, yeah, man, this is the last preseason game. After that, we got cuts, I believe, the next week, which we're going to get into some surprise cuts today. And then after that is when we have the, when the season starts. And the Cardinals, week 1, big game. I mean, I don't want us to just win. I mean, I'll take a dub, but we got to beat them by a decent amount or else I'm not feeling good about this season. And Terry looks like he might be out a little bit. He might be out for the start of the season. And I wouldn't mind that, honestly. Ideally you want to keep him in, but if he's not fully healthy, what's good, Juan? I know, you asked if I was free today. Sorry for the late response. I told you earlier, but had a lot of stuff going on. But if you want to pull up on here, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, all good. But of course, guys, get my guy 1 to 6,000 subscribers. He's close. Go ahead and get him there. But let's get into it. So Ron Rivera announced the preseason, or he talked today about who he's going to play. He says a select group of starters will play on Saturday, which is tomorrow. I believe at 6:05 is the game. Only on offense, based on the practice, looks like the interior of the offensive line would go. So Sadiq Charles, Nick Gates, and then Sam Cosmi, and then they'll play 1 or 2 series, and then they're done. So that is what he said is going to be expected. On defense, no starters. So I think that's the right move. They played a couple starters last week. I believe Jamin Davis, maybe Cody Barton, and Emmanuel Forbes. They don't really need to play, and that's what I said from the jump. None of those guys, the starters, besides a few guys like maybe Chase Young, Fedarian Mathis not a starter, but like Chase Young needed to play, I thought, and then guys like maybe Jamin Davis, Forbes, guys like that could have potentially played, but. I like this approach. Sam Howell doesn't need to play. He got, a half of work last week, a quarter and a half the week before, and the joint practice, work. I thought that's really well managed by Ron Rivera. Really well managed by Ron Rivera. So, yeah, Juan, if you want to pull up, let me know. If not, all good. But, yeah, so Sam Howell not playing. Terry, again, injured. I think it'll be the 75-80% by week 1. And then it's a choice of him and the Commanders. Okay, do we sit him out another week, and get him close to 100%? Or do we play him and risk him, injuring it a little bit further, or just, him not being at 100%? And, again, that rest could be huge. So that's the, dilemma that the coaches and training staff are going to have. Brendan says, what do you think of Sam Howell's progress, though? I mean, I made a couple videos on it. I feel really good about, Sam Howell. He's looked really good so far in training camp, preseason, OTAs, mini camp, joint practices. All the reviews have been good. So feel good about his progress, and he's not a finished product. Like, I think hopefully the player we see week 1 is totally different than the player we see week 18 against the Dallas Cowboys. I think that's who it is. So hopefully he progresses. Maybe starts the year not amazing, like okay, below average starter, and at the end of the season, he's playing like an average to above average QB in the league. And if that's the case, hey, that's a good that's very, very good for a 5th-round pick. I mean, you look at the list of guys that are drafted in the 5th round or later, or 4th round or later, and there's not a lot of guys that have, succeeded over the last like 10 years or so. You got Kirk, who was a 4th rounder, I believe. You got Dak, or Kirk was either a 4th or 5th. I think it was a 4th. Same thing with Dak. And then you got, Terod Taylor as well. Those are the guys that, have been late round picks that have succeeded. And even, Taylor, he's not like, he's okay, at times was an okay starter, more of a journeyman, but, yeah. So if hopefully Sam Howell can be more like the other two, like Kirk and, Dak. And I know some people don't like Kirk, but if we got Kirk out of Sam Howell, I would, I'm not saying the exact same player, but kind of the level of play Kirk gets. I'm sorry, but that's really good. And if we would, if we're able to take advantage of his rookie contract, then that would be huge. Because again, Kirk Cousins, it's going to be hard for the Vikings to win a Super Bowl with him. Maybe they can if everything works out, but it's going to be tough. But if Kirk Cousins was on a rookie contract right now, a 4th round, 5th round rookie contract like he was or Sam Howell is, they probably, they would be much more likely to win a Super Bowl because they could pay everyone else. So if we get by year 3, so not this year, but next year, Sam Howell's playing like a Kirk Cousins type of player, then you're feeling good about your chances, and you can, pay some guys and, potentially contend in the NFL. Let's see. Brennan says, or Anuki says, Terry needs to sit the first 3 games, make sure he heals. I don't think he needs to sit the first 3 games, but I wouldn't mind the first game. Wouldn't mind the first game for sure. And let's see. Sorry, just answering something right here. Mike says, am I the only one who gets Big Ben vibes from Sam? I don't know. I mean, in terms of what? His play or like his demeanor? Because I mean, I don't know. Sam's, I feel like more mobile than Ben. I mean, obviously Big Ben was able to break, and stay in the pocket a bunch of times and, avoid those sacks a ton. But How I feel like is more mobile than Big Ben. But yeah, expand a little bit more on that. Let's see. Brennan says, wasn't he projected to go top 5? Okay, pocket presence. I can see that. Brennan says, wasn't he projected to go top 5 in the draft? Yeah, he I mean, some people thought he would, and then, his senior or junior year, I can't remember correctly, but that last year, it wasn't great. And, some of those guys got hurt, and, his decision making was a little bit worse, and he ended up dropping. I think that's part of it. Still don't know how he went, past guys like Desmond Ridder and, even Malik Willis. Like, I think my order of QBs, if I remember correctly, was Kenny Pickett, and then either was Malik or Sam as a number 2. Most people had either Pickett or Willis at 1. There was a decent amount of people, like maybe a few weeks before the draft, that had Willis as their number 1 quarterback. I was never in that category, but yeah, so let's go over some things I'm looking to see in this game. And if you guys are new, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, that notification bell as well. It helps out a ton. Also, go ahead and join the Discord server. It would really be appreciated. I'll go ahead and put in the link in the chat right there. We're going to be doing some giveaways there. Terry doesn't need to come back till week 3. I mean, ideally you have him, this next couple weeks. Or not next couple weeks, but, week 1 and week 2 against the Cardinals and Broncos. Honestly, though, like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for you to beat the Bills. So at that point, if he's not, ready, you might as well sit him another week and see what you can do there. But, yeah, the turf toe injury is really, really unfortunate. And it's tough, man. It really sucks that it happened, but it is what it is. And, Jahan is going to have to step up a little bit also. I want to see what Diami can do. He's going to, if Terry's out for a game or 2, I want to see what Jahan can do, but Diami, man, he needs to look like a number 3, maybe even number 2 while Terry is down. And then once Terry's back, he can look like, he's not going to get those opportunities. But when he does get those opportunities, I need to see him, take advantage of that. And he doesn't need to look like he did against the Titans. That would be great. But if he can get you 30, 40, 50 yards, like let's say 40 to 50 yards a game when Terry's out, that's huge. That's huge. And, that shows that, okay, maybe you don't need Curtis Samuel the next year. But, yeah, let's go over some guys I'm looking, forward to watching tomorrow, guys to watch out for. There's a few. The offensive line, want to see what those guys look like again. Sam Cosmi, Sadiq Charles, Chris Paul, Ricky Stromberg has been impressing. He is someone I'm definitely intrigued about. Made a video about him yesterday, how a lot of coaches, feel good about him. Ron Rivera's been praising him, and he's been getting a lot more PT lately and working at guard and center. So he's someone to watch for sure. Chris Rodriguez, C-Rod Rodriguez, that's another guy. He's going to get a lot of touches. I mean, he's going to be the number one back. And then after that, I really hope Jarrett Patterson shows out. He's not making the roster. He is not making the roster, I don't think. But hopefully shows out and gets on another roster or another practice squad. He'll probably make this practice squad. I think he should go to another one, though. Mike says, does it feel like a lose-lose for Rivera if the team does well? They'll promote Eric, and if they do baddies. I mean, I could see that. It's really if the offense looks like really, really good, and if Sam Howell looks good, then there's a chance Rivera doesn't do well. But let's say the defense dominates, and then the offense is mid, like they're all right, then I think that looks good. Not good for Rivera, but like that's he's probably going to keep his job unless they don't make the playoffs. I mean, he has to minimum make the playoffs for him to keep his job, probably win a playoff game. What's up, Rick? Appreciate that, man. Yeah, trying to get you guys a video every day. Appreciate all the support, man. It's just 1 second. Hit that like button, the subscribe button, that notification bell as well. It does actually help out a ton. It helps the algorithm a ton. And join the Discord server if you guys can. I'll go ahead and put that. I put the link in the chat. I'll put that link in again. Trying to form a community over there and going to do some giveaways once September starts. Mike says, do you think Eric will stay without a promotion? I mean, I think he'll try. I mean, it's not – first off, it doesn't look great for him if he's leaving. Like, he already left from Kansas City to here to be an offensive coordinator. If he leaves again to be another OC, I don't think that looks good. So I think if he doesn't get a head coaching job after this year, he'll stay another year. And if Sam Howell looked good the year before, try to develop him a little bit more. So, that's probably what I would, see him doing. So I think he would stay if he didn't get promoted. And if he really didn't like the job, where if everyone, loses their job, Rivera, everyone because of Josh Harris, then I think he'll be a running backs coach or something in Kansas City, or maybe another team will give him a, OC job. Some other guys I'm looking, towards watching. Quan Martin, man, I want to see what he can do. The first 2 weeks, I haven't seen a lot of great things from him. Week 1 was getting cooked. Week 2 got the tackling effort was terrible. And they did make an interception, but he still got cooked on that play. If that ball wasn't underthrown, that's a touchdown. So I need to see him play better. The tackling effort needs to improve. And then the coverage. Again, he's young. He's more of a raw prospect, so it's going to take a little bit more time. And I haven't given up on him, and I don't think, a lot of people have. Let's see what he looks like. He's athletic. He's got that huge vert, continue to progress. And, maybe he ends up playing, maybe not early. I still don't think he's ready. But if he shows out in this game, maybe he is ready. But, he's been kind of struggling a little bit against second-team guys. So if you're struggling against a second-team guy as a safety corner, like against the first-team guys, it's not going to be great. But some guys, don't play well in the preseason and play well in the regular season. That could be someone like Quan Martin. Elin says, really impressed with the O-line in the second game. I thought the O-line played better. They definitely did. Lowered the penalties. I thought Ricky looked good. Nick Gates looked good. Sam Cosmi. The O-line played better for sure. Brendan says, I really hope EB stays. I hope so too. Let's see. Other guys, Cole Turner, I guess he's technically a starter. I don't know if Rivera's considering him a starter when he's saying he's not going to play the starters, but excited for Cole Turner. And then Casimir Allen Jonathan, that's a good one. He definitely needs a shot. If he doesn't as another big return, they're going to have to keep him, I think. They're going to have to keep him, and then it'll just be Terry, Jahan, Curtis, and then Diami, and then you got, Byron Pringle and Kaz Allen. I think that's your 6. And then if you can bring on Dax Milne to the practice squad, there you go. If not, it is what it is. But that's a good one. And then also Mitchell Tinsley, he dropped that pass in the game. Wasn't a good look for him. Andre Jones, hey, that's another. Keep putting the names in the chat. Andre Jones and KJ Henry. Those are both guys to watch out for in this game. I mean, so far, Andre Jones has been by far and away the better draft pick out of the two. He's, pop more, but still got time. And if KJ Henry has a huge game, hey, maybe he ends up making the roster over Andre Jones. I just don't see how Andre Jones doesn't make it. But let's say KJ Henry plays really well, then he probably ends up making the roster with Andre Jones, and they're either going to have to keep another D lineman or be forced to cut, one of the other D linemen like James Smith-Williams, Casey Toohill, one of those guys. And I don't know, it's going to be tough to cut them. Let's see. Brendan, I'm excited to see Forbes do damage. I love that he's shutting the haters up. Yeah, he's not going to play, but wait, what? Someone says, Trey Lance got traded to Dallas. What the heck? Okay. Hey, shout out Niren. I'm going to low-key put that in the title. That is crazy. Let's see. Sorry for doing this midstream, but wanted to let's see. Wow, that is crazy. I mean, I'm gonna wait for the information to pop in, but maybe that title will get some more people in here. But that is crazy. I don't know. Yeah, we'll wait. No, Brennan, he is not lying. Trey Lance just traded to the Dallas Cowboys. If you're popping in here, stay, because we're gonna be talking about that in a second. While the details come out, but that is crazy. That is one of the least expected, places I would say he would go, but hey, he'll have some time to stay behind him. So it is a 4th round pick, 2024 4th round pick. So not much, but man, what a terrible draft pick, man, for the 49ers. I mean, he barely got any PT either, which is crazy. Any PT, and they already trade him, man. That is absolutely crazy. So, Trent Scott, hey, Matt, that's another guy to keep your eye out for. But yeah, Trey Lance traded to the Dallas Cowboys for a 4th round pick. And, let's see, he's still owed about $1 million for the remainder of 2023 and about 5.3 next year, all guaranteed. Hey, I think it's a good move for the Cowboys. I honestly, would I have advocated for us to trade for him? No, but 4th round pick, you keep him, as the 3rd stringer behind Brissett and behind Sam Howell, and he could have developed a little bit, and maybe the next regime would have liked him. And if he works out, you can flip him, or if Sam doesn't work out, you try out Trey Lance. But that first off, that ship has sailed, and second off, it would have been complicated. I don't think Trey would have necessarily wanted to be traded here. He's traded to the Cowboys. I think they still got Cooper Rush, do they? So I don't know. I don't know what, how much PT he's going to get. But yeah, man, that's a crazy, crazy trade. What's up, yo? It's K2 Cool. Appreciate you pulling up. Yeah, Trey Lance just traded to the Dallas Cowboys. I was thinking, the Vikings, I saw that was a name. There was some other teams as well, but I think it's a solid move for the Cowboys because, you get a guy that was drafted number 3 overall, and he has a chance to sit behind a solid. I know people don't like Dak, but he's a solid veteran QB. Sit behind him for a little bit, and hey, maybe he ends up being good. If not, you just gave up a 4th round pick. Been solid, man. Been solid. Back to school this week, so yeah, it is what it is. But don't like that part, but love the football season come up. He says, is the name coming back? I doubt it, man. I know they got the over 100K signatures, but I just don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. I think maybe they could do something Native American themed, and that's the most I could see, but I really doubt it, honestly. Andre Jones is a lock. I agree, Jonathan. And real quick, let's go over some more guys I'm looking for, and then we'll go ahead and discuss the Trey Lance thing a little bit more. Someone just mentioned Jonathan Taylor. We can talk about him, but I was not expecting that at all. Let's see other guys to watch. I mean, I really paid like no attention to Braden Daniels over the first 2 preseason games, so that's someone I maybe want to watch a little bit, see what what he's about, and see if he has because it's going to be hard for them to keep 10 linemen. I mean, you think about it, and let's see, Rudy, appreciate that. And guys, join the Discord if you guys can. Gonna be doing some giveaways over there. But if you think about, and I'm going to talk about Jared Patterson in a second, but if you think about it, the 5 starter is going to make it. Let's say you have Sadiq as a starter. There you go. That's 5. Cornelius Lucas, lock. Ricky Stromberg, that's 7. That's a lock. And then you got, let's say, 8 is Tyler Larson. And then you got Chris Paul. And then you have Braden Daniels. I guess that's 10. Or did I miss someone? I know I'm missing someone. I feel like I'm missing someone. Cornelius Lucas, that's 6. Chris Paul, Tyler Larson, Ricky Stromberg, Braden Daniels. That's 10. That's 10 right there. So I think it's going to be tough for them to keep less than 10. Kind of said it's a possibility, but if they keep less than 10, then it's either Larson or Braden Daniels that's out. And I don't know if you can move on from Larson like that, without having any other backup center. Jared Patterson, I talked about this before. I don't think he's going to make the team. I really like him, though, and I think he needs to, because this coaching staff does not like him that much. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying as a person, but as a player, they don't value him. He's getting the least reps out of anyone, even though he's doing more with those reps than some of the guys ahead of him. So, it's just a tough situation for him, and I think that he will eventually, hopefully move his way to another team, which is unfortunate for us, but it's better for him. Maybe get a practice squad on another team, or regular spot and ball out from there. But I think he would get another spot on a practice squad, but I think he should decline it and go somewhere else if he has that opportunity. But I'm going to watch out for him, and I really hope he balls out. Curtis Hodges is another guy. He needs to step up. He's not making the roster, but he had a bad game last week. Cameron Cheeseman, he's another guy. I love the guy. He's a great, character, has a podcast with Trey. I mean, he does a cheese break, but he's a really nice guy. Met him a couple of times at training camp, but the snaps have been, I've heard it's that they've been questionable in camp. And then also he had that, kind of dribbler at one of the kicks, and then Trey just made a really good job, or did a really good job, securing that. And then he, they made the kick, but that was a bad hold or bad snap by Cameron Cheeseman. That's got to fix up. Got to get fixed up. So if he makes all of his snaps, am I going to be like, oh, good job, good job, Cameron Cheeseman? No. But if he doesn't, that's when it's like, okay, bro, you got it. Like we drafted you for a reason, bro. Like you got to just no questions. He said, why is Josh Harris read? I mean, I don't know if he was. I mean, it was a little bit awkward, but I mean, I watched it back, and Joe Buck was holding his hand out for like 2.5 seconds and kind of leaving it there, not like gesturing. I mean, like sometimes you gesture, but he went like, and then just had his hand out. But it was a little weird, but he might have been a little tipsy too. It is what it is. Way less weird than Dan Snyder, I'll tell you that. Yeah, Trey Lance to Dallas for 4th is happening. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. And, I mean, not crazy that he got traded. That was expected. But for a 4th, that's probably what I thought. But to the Cowboys, kind of weird. I think it's a good move for the Cowboys. I mean, really, like, was I advocating for the Commanders to do it? No. But, like, would I have hated it? No, because you're giving up a 4th-round pick for a guy that was drafted, 3rd overall. And, like, he hasn't looked amazing, but he also has barely played. He's played, like, barely any games. So, like, I don't think that, like, it would have been a terrible move here, because let's say you keep him and Sam Howell is a stud. Well, you can maybe have him develop and show out in the preseason and end up getting like a 3rd or 2nd round pick for him if he's looking really good. Like, increase your value, or increase your assets. And if Sam Howell doesn't end up being good, then you could try him out. But I think it's a solid move. A fourth, it is an okay amount, but like for what you're getting, the chance of a franchise QB, I think it's not a bad move. I don't think it's a bad move at all. And they bought low, gave him up for a 4th round pick. Who knows what that is? And probably most likely it's not. Trey Lance isn't going to be a stud in the NFL, but there's a chance, and much more of a chance than someone like Jake Fromm, who we have, or one of these other guys, because it's very rare that in the 3rd year of their career they get traded for a 4th round pick. Brennan says me low key happy realizing the Jags might be a top 10 or be a 10-win team this year. I think they're easily going over 10, or easy going over 9. I think they'll get to 10, maybe 11 wins. Oh, he said Washington might be a 10-win team too. They could. I'll probably go 8-9 wins. 9 optimistic. I think Hal has impressed me this preseason a little bit more than I thought, and I think he'll be solid for them. So let's talk about some other guys I'm looking for, watching the preseason game. Let's see, any other defenders? I mean, Percy Butler, I don't know if he's going to play, but if he does, want to see him. Also talked about, Quan Martin. What's up, Jarrett? Make sure you guys go ahead and check out his channel. He said it's a good move. And if Dak gets hurt for a long time and Lance gets in, Dak can get that job goodbye. Yeah, I mean, hey, there's a chance. There's definitely a chance. If Lance looks good, the Cowboys fans are going to be restless, and maybe he'll end up being the starter, but not something I was expecting on a Friday night to hear. But hey, there we go. Now Dak Prescott and Trey Lance are trending on Twitter. People are going to be overreacting, but let's see. I'm trying to see if any other updates have come out. I would not mind the Commanders making a trade, bro. I would not mind us making a trade. Like, Isaiah Simmons was just traded. Do we need him? No, but a 7th round pick, man. Like, I don't care. Throw it. Like, I mean, it's not just Isaiah Simmons. Like, the tackle got traded the other day yesterday for like a 6th, or basically the value of a 6th. We could use some tackle depth. And over the last few years, we just very rarely have made some trades. We made the Kyle Allen trade. And then, man, if anyone can remember this name, shout out to you, because I forgot the name. But we traded for a Raiders tackle. I think he played under Del Rio for half a year, and it was like a 7th round pick in year 1. And he ended up playing for a year or 2, and he was, not terrible, but he was a backup. So we made those trades year 1. After that, we didn't really trade for anyone in the trade deadline, and we traded William Jackson III. Let's see. Lance supposed to play in the preseason. The 49ers were like, no, yep. Let's see. Someone asked me, when's the last time we've swept the preseason? I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, I mean, Jairus, I wouldn't mind having him on the team, Isaiah Simmons, because like a lot of people were like, we don't need him because he plays DB a lot. He played like 40%, but hey, that other 60% is linebacker, and he's better than our other linebackers. Let's see. If anyone remembers the name, please let me know. I'm trying to remember that name. The Raiders tackle that we traded for in the 7th round, or for a 7th round pick. But let's see. And then someone mentioned Jonathan Taylor. Don't think we'll trade for him. Would I hate it? I mean, I never hate getting star players, but I don't think we need it, man. I really don't think we need it. Unless it's for very, very, low value, which I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that's going to be the case. And I think that they're probably going to trade, they want a 1st round pick. David Sharp, thank you. The name, like, I knew who I was talking about. I could not remember the name. Shout out RS Swimmer 84 for that, for the name. I forgot it, and there you go, David Sharp. So those are the trades. They made it for Kyle Allen, David Sharp. After that, I can't recall them making a trade for anyone else. Wouldn't mind it. Giving up a 7th round pick and, getting whoever. Some depth at linebacker, some depth at, They also traded for Eric Flowers 2 drafts ago, and that was a good trade, man. They swapped 7th-round picks. We might have actually gotten the better 7th-rounder. I can't remember, but that was a great move, even though he only played that one season for us. After he played the one season before that, he played well in that one season. That was worth 20 spots in the 7th round. So if you can scout out and see which talk to these teams. Okay, are you releasing this guy or are you not? If you really want them, and you think another team might get him, and they're about to release him, be like, hey, 7th-round pick swap, you give him to us, and there we go. Or maybe if it's a little bit of a higher tier player, we'll trade a 7th-round pick for whatever linebacker or lineman. Shows you what the 49ers think of Lance, that they trade him to a heated rival. They don't think he's good. The Cowboys, I guess, obviously it was much more of a rivalry back then than it is now, because the Cowboys, haven't been that good in the last 30 years, but I see what you're saying. But yeah, they didn't feel good about him because they had him as a 3rd-string guy behind Darnold and Brock Purdy. That is what should tell you, that's what should tell you that, hey, he's not him, bro. He's not him. Let's see. Scary Terry is our best player, and I would much rather sit him out for week 1 and possibly even week 2. I want him 100% healthy. Nay says, think EB could become head coach. Maybe. I think if Rivera retires. Black King says you blocked my. Hey, I don't know who I blocked, but if you let me know, maybe I don't know what the guy said, but just let me know. Let's see. I'm trying to look through the other comments. Traded for Eric Flowers. Do the Rams strat. The Rams strat worked ultimately because they won a Super Bowl. They traded everyone, or they traded for everyone, and their cap space situation was bad. It ended up, biting them in the butt, but they won the Super Bowl. It was worth it. I don't think we're there yet, though. I don't think we're a Super Bowl. We're not there yet. Yeah, we're just not there yet. But it worked out for the Rams. It worked out for the Rams for sure. So real quick, comment down below who you guys really like, the one player you think needs a good performance to make this team. So Kazmir Allen, I don't think it needs to be he needs to really, really ball out. But if he plays well, I think he'll make the team. Yeah, it is what it is. Jeffrey says, absolutely, Eric Bieniemy can become a head coach. Yeah, I think he can become a head coach. Yeah, okay. I think he can become a head coach. I think it would be tough here unless Rivera either gets fired or he leaves. If he leaves, he retires. But I think if the Commanders' offense is top 15 this year and Sam Howell looks good, then I think he will get promoted. He should. Brendan says Dax definitely one guy that needs to ball out to make this roster. If he doesn't, it's really him and Kazmir Allen. If one does well, it's bad for the other. So, yeah, it's interesting right there. But Dax is definitely someone who needs to ball out. KJ Henry is my guy too, or one of the guys that needs to ball out if he wants to make this roster. Mason Brooks, I really don't see him making it. I really don't see him making a shout out Saswan in the comment section below. Big Commanders fan, friend at VT. But yeah, I don't see Mason Brooks making it just because the amount of O-line they have. Probably a practice squad guy, and didn't play well in the first Commanders game as well. So yeah, let's see. We'll talk for a little bit more and then go ahead and call it a day. But was not expecting that Dak Prescott trade. The Trey Lance trade, was not expecting that at all. So, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen with these trades. And there's been a decent amount. Andrew Tate Sigma Chad says, wait, what happened to Trey Lance? He got traded to the Dallas Cowboys. What's up, Skins fan all day? Shout out to my guy. Popped in, was watching your stream the other day. I can't remember when it was, but it was in the last week or two. Shout out Skins fan all day. He says, I think Dax and Patterson probably will be gone. Yeah, I think Patterson is going to be tough for him to make it. Dax, Milne, I don't know. there's a chance, but it's been trending downwards from him ever since he got injured. And then Casimir Allen has been pretty, like, offensively, he's been solid. And then as a returner, he's been pretty good. Thurman says Sam Howell needs to be well in this game. Well, Sam Howell's not playing. The starters aren't playing besides a few offensive linemen. So Howell's not playing. Brissett's expected to play for a quarter and a half. And then it's the Jake Fromm show. It is the Jake Fromm show, which he played well last game, but they probably won't keep him. And then it makes it a little bit easier for them to keep, other guys as well. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and then we're going to, maybe 10 more minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and call it a day. I guess, I got some things to do after this, but oh yeah, man, I'm excited. After this preseason game, you got the cuts, and then you got like a week of practice, and then the football season is here. And the cuts is going to be very interesting to see what they do there. And then after what they do, if they make any claims. Last year they claimed Tariq Castro Fields and Rashad Wildgoose, and those guys are still here. They weren't really contributors last year. I mean, Rashad Wildgoose played a little bit. He was okay at times, but they're still here. They'll probably be on the practice squad, though. I think they keep Forbes, Fuller, St. Juice, Danny Johnson, and Christian Holmes as the 5 corners. And I think they keep 4 safeties, Cam Curl, Derek, or I guess Quan Martin's a corner. So put Quan Martin in the corner section, but he also can play safety, so that's 6 corners. And then safety, they keep Cam Curl, Derek Forrest, Percy Butler, and Jeremy Reeves, all pro Revo. And there you go. Those are your DBs. You keep 10 DBs, and then D linemen, you probably keep 10. So that's 20 right there. Linebackers, they probably keep Cody Barton, Jamin Davis, Khaleke Hudson, and maybe David Mayo. Or I think they keep those first 3 that I said, and they'll keep 1 more. So either Milo Eifler, John Harris, or David Mayo, and then maybe they'll bring in another linebacker, one of those guys back afterwards, after they make some moves. They might put someone on IR, maybe like Fedarian Mathis. They might put him on IR. Gibson's a fantasy sleeper. I mean, he could be. If they really use him like he should be used as a pass catcher, then he could be a sleeper. Definitely, for sure. Got 60 people in here. If you guys are new, hit that like button, subscribe button as well. Also, join the Discord. Trying to build a community over there. Doing some giveaways. Going to be giving away, more likely than not, a Jahan jersey signed and a Sam Howell signed jersey and some tickets once the season starts with a brand later on. So in September. So a week away, kind of. So go ahead and join. Going to be announcing that over there and on the channel as well. But go ahead and join that for sure. And let's see, any other things I wanted to discuss? No injuries tomorrow. I know the the kind of starters and higher tier players aren't going to be playing a lot besides a few O-linemen, but hopefully they don't get injured. Really, really hoping that, because that would be unfortunate. So yeah, hopefully they don't get injured, and that's really the biggest thing. No injuries, and then after that, well, I want to see Diami look good if he's playing, and then Casimir Allen, the young guys, like, see how they look. Quan Martin, like him, and Ricky Stromberg, like those are the guys I really want to see succeed, because those are, and Braden Daniels, Andre Jones, KJ Henry, just rooting for the draft class, root for everybody really, but especially the guys that we invested more in. Want to see what those guys do. I really think we could have Fedarian Mathis on IR to start off the season, which would not be great. Would not be great at all. Would not be great. And that's not a great start. Would not be a great start to his career at all. If, last year he got hurt on the first possession of the game against the Jaguars. And then this year in the first possession of the preseason game, this man gets hurt. So it is unfortunate, but it is what it is with him. Jeffrey says Patterson's going to make the practice squad. I think he will, but I don't know if he's going to want to. He might get other practice squad offers or maybe another team offer. I don't think so, but you never know. You never know at all. So let's see. Any other things, Again, I think they got to cut. Usually they do like week by week, you cut down a little bit more, but this is going to be like all 1 week basically. They're going to have to cut everyone by a certain day. It might be like August 31st if I'm not mistaken, or August 28th. I'm looking at the calendar because 28 would make more sense. 28 would make more sense. So the 28th is a Monday. So that would make sense. So the Commanders are playing on the 26th. So for them to do that on the 28th, if anyone knows the date for sure, but let's see, NFL cut day 2023, good old Google. So August 29th. So they're going to have to bring the roster down from 90 to 53, 90 to 53 in one day, basically. So after in the next few days, you could see it slowly start to happen. Like they'll probably, release a few guys, here and there, and then the onslaught will come, will happen on, Monday and Tuesday. That's going to be crazy for sure. And yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what happens there. And, praying for everyone on the Commanders to, if they don't make this roster, make another roster practice squad. But unfortunately, that's not usually how the situation goes. But it is what it is. It's how the NFL is. Only 53 out of the 90 guys can make it, but they're going to have to cut 37 guys. So, it's one of those situations where it sucks for them, but it's a part of the business. And almost all those guys will make a practice squad somewhere. Almost all those guys. Some of them won't, unfortunately. But yeah, I think we're going to end it, unfortunately on that note. But if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and put in the chat. And yeah, Brian says Trey Lance traded to the Cowboys. Yeah, unfortunate. But it is what it is with that one as well. And, hopefully, I'm not praying on his downfall at all, but hopefully the Cowboys trade him and he ends up balling out somewhere else and not here. But that's not going to happen. But yeah, appreciate all y'all. And yeah, Jeffrey says not impressed with Quan. Yeah, me neither. Not yet, but hopefully he goes out and balls out in the next week and then slowly starts to progress. So thanks, guys. Hope you guys enjoy, and peace.